Is it cheaper to rent a one-bedroom condo in Hamilton than it is to purchase? Find out today. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. It is a pleasure to have you tuning in. I came up with this idea based on a newspaper article, a Hamilton Spectator article that had come out, whether it's cheaper. They're saying it's cheaper to rent than it is to purchase a condo in Hamilton, and they are not wrong. But before I dive into it, I want to point your attention to the description below where you can find the link to Calendly. And what that does is it allows you to book an appointment with me one-on-one, either virtually or in person. You can set it up, looking to buy, sell, or you just want to talk real estate. It'll sync with my calendar. So if you book that appointment, I will make sure that I am available for it. Anyways, let's dive in. So yes, I'm going to say something that a lot of real estate agents are going to probably shoot me over, that it is cheaper to rent a one-bedroom condo than it is to purchase. How does it help my business to tell you this? It doesn't really, but I just want to talk about what's going on. In fact, I'm kind of glad I'm filming this on a Saturday because there's nobody in the office here right now, just me solo. So, and Zaya down the corner, but I don't know if he's still here. So let's break this down. I'm not going to use the numbers from the Spectator article because I'm not exactly sure where they got them from. I wanted to just pull my own stats from my board, and I went back about 60 days to get the data from there because I feel like that's pretty accurate of what's going on right now in the market. So the average sale price of a one-bedroom condo just in Hamilton over the last 60 days has been $438,000, which is actually pretty cheap when you think about it. $438,000 for a one-bedroom condo in Hamilton. I mean, we see the two bedrooms have gotten pretty astronomical, but $438,000 is a great price. And so what I did was I broke that down. Let's say you put 5% down. The article, they used 20% down. I'm going to use 5% down, 25-year amortization because it's the max you can do, 5.14% interest, which is pretty typical right now for a fixed. Your payment comes out to $2,550 a month. Now rent, I used my system as well for this. The rent average for a one-bedroom apartment-style condo in Hamilton is $2,150. So yes, it is cheaper just based on those mortgage payments alone. You're paying an extra $430 in mortgage to own a condo versus renting. However, is this going to stay the same? One thing I'm also going to mention, just because I know people are going to say it, you also have condo fees and property tax on top of that. There's no way to check what the average condo fee in Hamilton is, but what I'm using is just my experience. We have condo fees in Hamilton that are low 200s, like 215, and we have some that are, $714 for one bedroom, depending what building you're in. So I'm just gonna say average $450 a month for these condo fees, plus another $200 a month of property tax. We're looking at $650. So that plus your mortgage, you're actually paying about an extra $1,000 a month to own a condo, one bedroom condo in Hamilton, then rent it. Is this going to stay the same? So right now what we're seeing is a lot of downward pressure on prices because of the increase in the interest rate. So the prices are getting lower. However, because the rates are increasing, it's taking a lot of buyers out of the market. A lot of people are either scared or can't really afford to break into the market anymore. And what this is doing is it is actually creating more renters. So we have been seeing rent increase. So although right now it is more expensive with the interest rate, right? If rates go up, it's going to get pricier, but we are seeing the rents climb as well. So there may be a point that they cross, who knows, but that's just one thing to point out as well. Another thing I want to do, just to break it down from a long-term perspective. Now, if we look at it over 30 years, if you take your rent that you're paying $2,120 over 30 years, let's say you somehow never had a rent increase in 30 years, you make about $763,000 in payments over the course of that. Okay, so that's money out of your pocket, $763,000 out of your pocket. Now, in 30 years, if you bought that condo for $438,000, say in 30 years you lose $38,000 of it. It's for some reason, for the first time in the history of Canadian real estate, the average price actually went down over 30 years, and your condo is now worth $400,000. it doesn't really matter. Like, I know you're paying the extra $1,000 in a month, and I think over 30 years, like, we're assuming everything's all the same. Like, your rate hasn't changed. You're not paying less now, fees on. We're just assuming everything's constant here. You know, it might cost you more every month to float that, but at the end of it, you got to kind of look at it as the investment, because at the end, even if your condo average price goes down to that 400,000, you still now have an asset that's worth $400,000 that you can cash out on. You can use towards your retirement. I mean, you can sell it, you can buy a boat, whatever you want to do with it, but you have the money there. Whereas if you rent, it is money gone out of the window. And I do think that right now, with the average price of 438, I mean, man, it's cheap to get in there. It's 438. What's 5% of 438? You guys are gonna put me on the spot. I'm putting myself on the spot here. 438. 5% down, we're what, 21.5, we're almost what, about 22,000 just for 5% down on that, just below, just under 22,000 to do that. So I mean, when you have closing costs and everything, you're about 30,000 a month in, you know, or not 30,000 a month, so 30,000 total to put down to close on a condo like this. So that is very, very low entry level pricing to get a 1-bedroom condo and start investing in your future and building that equity. Anyways, what do you guys think? I thought this was an interesting article when it came out, so I figured I would just make this week's episode about it, because it's pretty cool stuff going on as well. Next week's episode, I'm already going to prep you guys, I know, which is going to be a great one. Doug Ford is making some changes to make housing a little bit easier to convert into 2 units, 3 units. They want to expand to create more units for people, more middle-level housing. So I'm super excited to talk about that. But I want to know what you think about this week's episode. Do you think that you should continue to rent in Hamilton? Should you buy? What are you feeling? I know from some of the comments that I see from you guys, you do think that we should wait to be buying. And I mean, that you guys may be right. It may be the time to kind of hold off and just see what's going on. But the rates are going up. At the end of the day, we had Davis on the episode last week. He was talking about, you know, prices are down, they're lower. If you purchase, you may have a higher rate now, but over time, as the rates come down, there's the possibility your mortgage payment could come down. And as prices start to increase again, it's actually going to start to look like you purchased this property at a big discount. So those are things to consider as well. But I always love hearing from you guys. So don't be shy. Drop those comments, drop a like, a subscribe, ding that little bell. I love hearing from you. Thanks again for tuning in, and I look forward to talking to you again next week.